Today we're making a very delicious, warm in your belly chili. We're making chicken corn chili. What we're going to use in this, we're going to some chicken, tomato sauce, garlic, chili powder, salsa, oregano, cumin, cayenne pepper, chicken broth, and onions. And we're going to do it in the slow cooker. It's going to be really easy to make. So let's get our chicken out of the way, and I can get these gloves off. I'm going to take my boneless, skinless chicken breast, and this is 2.2 pounds, about 2 pounds of chicken breast, and just line the bottom of my crock pot with them. And now we can press on. So let's go ahead and get our onions chopped up. Now I'd say 2 large onions, but I got a massive onion and a medium onion. So we're going to call those 2 large onions. All right, let's just get those chopped up. Okay, got those chopped up fairly quickly. We'll just dump those into the crock pot over our chicken. All right, I got a 16-ounce jar of paste chunky salsa, and I went for the medium. Go ahead and dump that in there. We're going to be adding some chicken broth here in a minute, so I'm just going to go ahead and rinse that jar out with a splash of chicken broth. All right, that's the way to do it. We're going to add, let's go 4 cloves of garlic, which is 4 teaspoons of minced garlic. Into the pot. Then we're going to get some chili powder, and I got this McCormick dark chili powder. I went this many years ago, bought this at Sam's Club. So we're going to put 3 tablespoons of chili powder. And we're going to put 4 teaspoons of dried oregano. I'm using Mexican oregano, that's what I got. Then we're going to put 2 teaspoons of cumin. Oh yeah, and we're good chili. Then we're going to put a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You don't go too far on over top on that. All right, that's all my seasoning done. Let me get my can opener. Now I got a 29 ounce of tomato sauce. And we're going to open that up and pop that into the crock pot. Don't want to waste none of that goodness. Now this is chicken and corn chili. So we're going to put 6 cups of frozen corn. There's 2. And there's 6. Oh yeah. Get that back in the freezer. And final ingredient is going to be 2 cups of chicken broth. All right. Into the pot. That's all there is to it. We have prepped that in a matter of minutes. So we'll put the lid on, turn that to low, and cook that on low for about 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours, till that chicken shreds apart on the bottom. And we'll see you in about 6 to 8 hours. Okay, it's been cooking 8 hours, and I've tasted that throughout the 8 hours, and it's tasting good. So let's fish out our chicken breasts. And hopefully they are tender enough to shred. Right. John, let's get to shredding. Oh yeah, nice and tender. As always, I love the crock-pot slow cooker. It does such a beautiful job keeping those breasts nice and juicy and tender. And look how easy it shreds up. Alright, we made quick work of that. Let's get that dumped back into our chili. That is hot. Get that all mixed in there. Oh my, John, this smells so good. Alright, so that is way too hot for me to handle right now to tray up. So we'll turn that down. We'll let this cool down a bit, and I'll come back and we'll tray it up. I'll see you then. Okay, it's cooled down a little bit. So let's go ahead and turn this on. I have a medium Harvest Right freeze dryer with 4 shelves. So we are going to put 2.5 pounds per tray. Give that a stir. Still piping hot, but we'll work through that. Now I have set my dividers into tens. We got to get through that chicken. Which is very tender. Just like that. Alright, so I got 2 more trays to do. I'll get that done off camera, and once we do, I'll be right back. Alright, there's my 3 trays for my medium freeze dryer. We put 3 squares per meal, and there's 10 squares per tray, so that'll give us 10 meals, which is perfect because that's how I buy my pouch O2 absorbers in pouches of 10. Alright, so this is way too hot to put in a freezer, so we're going to let this cool down a lot more. We'll get it frozen solid. Once it's frozen solid, we'll fire up the freeze dryer, and when it tells me to put my frozen food in, I'll put my food in, and next time you see it, it'll be coming out of the freeze dryer. Now, just to show you what we had left, I got maybe 3 generous bowls of chili in there left over. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that works perfect for me. So I got something to munch on during the week for my meals. Looking forward to that. Alright, so we'll see you when this comes out of the freeze dryer. Get you later. All right, there we go. My 40 hours in the freeze dryer and it's finished. And as usual, I got my onion chips for my snacks for the week. It's been a couple weeks since I had the freeze dryer going and I missed these. They are addictive, let me tell you. Okay, let's get this chili packaged up. So what I did was I took some of my Sailor Boy Pilot bread crackers. I put 10 of those on top of these just to make sure that they are totally no moisture in them. That way we can pack them with our chili. We have chili and crackers. Lovely and dry. So everybody knows the dice are loaded. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Who knows that song? All right. Everybody knows I put 3 squares per meal in my little bitty pouch, meal pouch here. Give that a little crumble up. We'll drop a cracker in with that. Set them off to the side. And I'm going to get the rest of these packaged off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, so we got those all bagged up. Let's get our 300cc O2 absorbers in there. One per pouch. And go ahead and zip it up now. I'll get this done off camera and I'll be right back. Alright, the light has gone out. Tells me it is ready to go. So we'll throw a heat seal on these. And I'll be right back. Voila, that's done. Let's turn that off. Get that unplugged. So we'll let this cool down. We'll leave these sitting out for a day or two just to make sure everything goes all right and looks sealed and perfectly. And we'll put those away for long-term storage. And I will come back later and we will do a taste test on one of these. We'll rehydrate it for you and see what it goes back like. All right, I'll see you then. All right, it's New Year's Eve and I cooked this chicken and corn chili. I think just before or right after Thanksgiving, and it's set in my freezer until the beginning of December. Then we ran it through the freeze dryer, and I'm just now getting around to making up a bowl of chili. I'm gonna watch a good movie tonight on Netflix if I can find it, and that's how we're gonna bring in the new year. So let's get this opened up. And see if we can't get some good chili in my belly. Right. So take our cracker and our O2 absorber. We put 3 squares, so that's 3/4 of a cup of water. And this is hot water straight from my Keurig. So it's almost boiling. And that's 3/4 of a cup of water. that shut. And we're going to let that sit for 2 minutes. I'll see you in 2 minutes. All right. That has been 2 minutes. So let's give her a stir. Oh man, that smells so good. Make sure everything gets dipped in that moisture. That's gonna be good. Dip that shut again. And we'll let her sit for another 2 minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right. Let's dismiss that. We'll open this up. While I am opening this up, I'll just give a quick shout out. These are what you call a single meal pouch, and I get them from topmylar.com, and that's spelled TOPMYLAR.com. And pretty much I exclusively use these for all my meals because I like to freeze dry my meals into a meal pouch and then put it away for long-term storage, and then in an emergency or when I'm hungry or after a day of cutting the grass or something, I can just go grab a pouch and add some water to it and I got a nice meal. And they're great for camping. Just have to turn the furnace off so it makes too much noise when we're recording. So they're great for camping or even taking to the office with you. You can grab a pouch of these, take it to the office with you, add some hot water at lunch, and you got a nice hot meal. So I get these from topmylar.com. And we have a couple of codes that can save you some money on these. First of all, if you spend $50 or more at topmylar.com and use the code BIBS, B-I-B-S, BIBS, on checkout, you will save $5 on orders of $50 or more. They've also got what's called a one-time use only coupon. And if you use for any order, so your order can be for any amount, I highly recommend it for the larger orders because it's a single use only coupon. But if you use BIBS10, B-I-B-S 10, BIBS10, all one word, then you'll save 10% on your complete order. You can't beat that. And that's very generous of Top Mylar to offer that to you, my viewers. So we have this here. It's been soaking for 2 minutes plus however long it takes me to give that little blurb. So let's dish it out. We could eat it straight from the pouch. As you can see, my spoon reaches right to the bottom. That's why I like these pouches, because in an emergency situation or office or camping or whatever, and you don't want to dirty a dish, you can eat it straight from the pouch. And as everybody knows, the dice are loaded, and we like to dish out our meal to show you how beautiful it comes out after being freeze-dried. And I like to get all that good flavor out of there, make sure I got it all. And that is a nice thick chili. If you wanted to, you could water that down a little bit, but I like my chili nice and thick. So before I put my cracker in there, let's have a nice taste of this chicken and sweet corn chili. Oh man. Oh yeah. I don't really even need the crackers, but I'm gonna put them in there. You know, chili seems to be one of those things that after you freeze dry it, it seems to taste better than it did when it was fresh. Does that make sense? It sure does. This tastes better than when I first made it, I think. Freezing it for the freeze dryer must just blend those flavors. It just makes a big difference to me. I really believe it does. So we'll take one of my pilot bread crackers that we put in the pouch. We'll just break that up in there. Like I say, it's totally unnecessary, I think, for this chili. But it adds a little texture to it. Oh yeah. And as you guys know, I do a lot of slow cooker meats for freeze drying because I just find that the shredded meat, whether it's pork, chicken, beef, it just comes back so beautifully. Whereas chunks are great for when it's fresh, but sometimes if you have chunks in your freeze-dried food, it can take a while for that moisture to get to the center of that chunk. Whereas with shredded, it just almost instantly rehydrates. Man. This is good. If I was a pig, this might be a 2-poucher. Well, I'm not going to bore you with me eating this whole bowl of beautiful chili, but I'll just take my word for it and then go try it. I think you're going to be amazed. That was a really simple chili to put together. Very simple, very basic, but it's just packed with flavor. This is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to eat this off camera. As it's New Year's Eve tonight, I'll say Happy New Year, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers.